On Tuesday, June 13th of the N-Scale Convention, we were headed to Carson City to the Nevada State Railway Museum. So I looked out my hotel window just as we were getting ready to leave to see an eastbound train coming into the Sparks Yard, and then it was off to spend our day in Carson City. Loading for the buses was great. It was right outside the hotel, and there was about 3 buses, I believe, that day. And so about a 45-minute ride later, we were in Carson City at the Nevada State Railway Museum. The museum itself is beautiful. A lot of old equipment in great shape and running condition. What my wife and I found very interesting is on the floor there was an inlay of the whole transcontinental railroad route. And we just happen to have a whole unit that we do at school on Western expansion. And there's one part on Promontory Point and bringing the United States together by rail. And so we found that to be very interesting, taking pictures of the floor that kind of mapped that out. So we overshot some of the photos because we were also planning on showing some of these artifacts to our students this next school year. This one I found interesting that had Cedar Rapids, Iowa on it because we actually teach in a school district that's only 20 miles north of Cedar Rapids. After we made our way through the museum part, then we were able to expand and go outside and see some of the things in the Roundhouse and that. So this McKean motor car was really cool with kind of the knife point on it. And then having the round circular windows through the coach area of the car. So really interesting piece of railroad equipment. I'm going to guess you don't want to stand behind this thing when it's running. I'm not sure if that muffler is loud or if it's quiet, but probably don't want to stand there. They had some great examples of early freight cars along with coach cars that we talk about in school and how dangerous some of those could be, obviously, in a derailment. Some beautiful examples of 440 American locomotives. This here had to be one of my favorites. And then on the other side of the Roundhouse, here's a narrow gauge locomotive also that is a real beauty as well. Throughout the museum, there's mostly laid dual gauge track for both their narrow gauge equipment that they have and their standard gauge equipment. That also is true of their turntable, has dual gauge track on it. There were a few people servicing this locomotive. Found it interesting when they were talking with us that it runs off of unused jet fuel. And like always, when I go to a convention like this, I meet somebody that knows me from my YouTube channel, so I got to meet Leonard Campbell from New Zealand, who is a follower. So Leonard, thank you for watching. It was great visiting with you. When we left the museum, we headed over to a city park that we were going to have Subway sandwiches, box lunches already made for us, and then we were hopefully going to get a little train ride and then check out the Carson City Railroad Club. Well, as you can see, there were no train rides. They had a lot of rain and snow melt that was still occurring in the Reno area. But we did get to see the Railroad Club, which was really nice. We left the museum area that afternoon and got back to our hotel around 4. We had talked to a couple on the bus that recommended a great Mexican restaurant just up the street from our hotel, and they didn't steer us wrong. The food was excellent. And of course, by the time we got back to the hotel, we finished off the evening with a nice dip in the pool at the hotel. Thank you for watching. My next video that will come out will cover the home layout tours that were offered on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday during the N-Scale convention.